In the quiet countryside of East Sussex, England, lies the decaying skeleton of what was once a grand institution, Hellingley Hospital, an asylum built in 1903, stretching across 400 acres, with long, red brick corridors and towering iron gates. It was supposed to be a place of healing, but inside those walls, sanity was not preserved. It was shattered. From the moment Hellingley opened its doors, something never felt right. The staff whispered about cold spots that never warmed. Patients complained of voices in the walls, and some rooms were so filled with dread that even the bravest doctors refused to enter them alone. The hospital treated a range of disorders, from depression to schizophrenia, but the treatment methods were brutal. Electroshock therapy, isolation cells, lobotomies, and in some wings, even darker rumors. Unofficial experiments, patients being tied down for days, some simply disappearing as if they were never there. One nurse in 1912 reportedly hanged herself in the women's ward, but her diary told a different story. She claimed she saw figures standing at the foot of her bed every night, patients she had already signed off as dead. As decades passed, the stories only got darker. A surgeon suffered a mental breakdown and clawed at his own eyes in the middle of surgery. A patient locked in a padded room was found with fingernails missing, scratches etched across the words, "He walks between walls." The town around the asylum grew uneasy. Locals began to avoid the hospital grounds. They said the birds never flew overhead. The trees nearest the property were always dead, and sometimes, even miles away, you could hear faint screams at night, long after visiting hours were over. In 1994, Hellingley closed its doors, but the evil didn't leave. Explorers, thrill seekers, and ghost hunters soon began sneaking into the ruins. Most left with shaky footage and cheap thrills, but not all of them came back. One man, Daniel Frost, live-streamed his solo trip inside the asylum. At first, it was nothing but broken furniture and dusty halls. Then his audio cut out. His flashlight flickered. He whispered, "Something's wrong. This place is breathing." Then, silence. For 7 minutes, his stream broadcasted nothing but a still hallway and the sound of faint, raspy breathing. When Daniel was found 3 days later in the old operating room, his nails were ripped off and he was unresponsive. He hasn't spoken since. Other explorers reported a strange room that doesn't appear on any floor plan. Pitch black, freezing cold. Their devices die instantly upon entering. Some say it's where the worst of the experiments took place. Others believe it's a portal to something that never left. They call it the Black Room, a place where even sound gets swallowed. Paranormal teams that stepped inside reported nausea, confusion, and one cameraman claimed he heard a woman singing directly into his ear, but he was alone. Then came the demolition crew. In 2006, attempts to tear down parts of Hellingley began, but several workers quit after tools went missing. Walls bled dark liquid, and one man was hospitalized after a woman in white pushed him down a stairwell, even though the building was supposed to be empty. He described her as barefoot, soaked in blood, staring through him like glass. She didn't blink. She didn't speak. She just pointed to the hallway behind him and vanished. Locals refused to talk about the asylum. Tour guides won't go near it. Google Maps sometimes glitches when you try to view the location. The land has changed names 3 times, but the stories persist. Some say it's the souls of tortured patients that still wander the halls. Others believe something older and darker was disturbed when the asylum was built, something that now wears the memories of the dead like a costume. The most disturbing part? People still report hearing screams, long, drawn-out wails echoing across the fields at 3 a.m. The same time records show many of the original patients were sedated or put down during overcrowding in the early 1900s. Even today, hikers sometimes pass near the site. Their phones stop working, the temperature drops, and some say, you can still hear a woman whispering, "Don't leave me here." But maybe she's not asking. Maybe she's warning you. Because once Hellingly knows your name, it never forgets,